Adam doesn't have to be cursed. He's a Winchester. He's already cursed.
Truer words have never been spoken. Hello, bienvenue. Welcome back, my fellow fandom friends. Winchesters are cursed, but Adam definitely had it the worst. We're talking supernatural. Characters die a lot. It's just part of the deal. And sometimes, more often than not, we feel like a character got the raw end of it. The deaths leave us angry, wanting, and more often than not, don't actually mean anything. One of the writers or producers said at one point that if a character's death didn't make us angry, then they weren't doing their job correctly. But here's the thing. There's more than one kind of angry. Let me explain. One of the most egregious deaths on Supernatural is probably Adam Milligan, because we barely got to know him, and then he was already forgotten. Adam was your everyday, ordinary kid. He had a mostly normal childhood, and he went off to university. By all accounts, he was this pretty smart guy. He was pre-med after all, and he had a very close relationship with his mom. The unfortunate part happened to be that he was the son of John Winchester and the half-brother of Sam and Dean, which made them blood and family. He wasn't raised to be a hunter. He actually had a pretty good life with his mom, and John snuck back occasionally to be a dad, which Sam and Dean were kind of rightful to be angry at because, well, I mean, when Sam was afraid of the monster in his closet, his dad gave him a 45. Except Sam and Dean never actually met Adam. Not really, because by the time Sam and Dean actually arrived in town, Adam and his mother were already dead. They had been legitimately eaten alive, which has got to be one of the most horrifying and terrifying ways to go. I mean, Supernatural has a lot of really horrific deaths, but that's got to be one of the worst. Only he was later brought back by the angels to act as a pawn in their apocalyptic game, all because Dean didn't want to cooperate. So poor Adam got dragged into the middle of everything, coerced into being a vessel for Michael without actually knowing what he was getting into. And then he was blown up with holy oil. No, seriously, he had a holy oil Molotov thrown at him.
Hey, ass butt.
Which, in my opinion, should have killed him. Not Michael, just Adam. Because think about it, when Cass was poofed, Jimmy died, so why did Adam live? Regardless, he ended up in the cage with Sam, Lucifer, and Michael, where Sam was tortured. I mean, his soul was literally flayed alive. But Adam and Michael sort of came to an understanding, so he was safe, for the most part, I think. But as protected and safe as he was still trapped in that cage for years, even after Sam was rescued. His brothers just abandoned him there. They're so desperate to save and protect family, each other, but not their youngest brother. They don't really know him. He's just some rando to them. But how many times have they triggered an apocalypse to rush in to save the other? Adam at least deserved the same courtesy. I mean, how many strangers have Sam and Dean literally thrown their lives on the line to save, and even die for? But Adam? Nah. Adam's fine. We'll leave him where he is. And let's not forget that time moves differently in hell. So what was about a decade on Earth is about 5,000 plus years in hell. And Dean thought he had it bad with his measly 40. The inaction by Sam and Dean is completely out of character. Or is it? When we're talking about season 5 finale Sam and Dean, then yes, they would still risk their lives to save anybody. But as their hunting careers progressed, well, life seemed to have less meaning to them. Rather than try to save a vessel of someone possessed, they'd just kill it. But I think Sam and Dean's slow progression into monster is a discussion for another time. Right now, we're here for Adam, for once. Adam isn't even rescued. Nope. he and Michael pretty much had to take care of themselves. After all that time, they really only had each other to depend on. Adam's unfortunate existence was a running joke for the fans. It was something that was even metaed into the show, like in the season 10 episode Fanfiction, where it was rightly pointed out that Adam was still trapped in the cage, which obviously prompted Sam and Dean into immediate action. Yeah. No. So when God ripped open all the doors of hell, including the cage, Michael and Adam booked it out of there and took their own fate into their own hands and rescued themselves. Because hell yes, Adam got a second chance. Except not really, because he's still got to share his body with an archangel that can take over anytime he feels like. It's a whole new world, one that Michael doesn't have a place in. His brothers are dead. God is still MIA. So instead of giving Adam his freedom and a second chance at life, he's sort of stuck in the middle of all things supernatural because an archangel is having an identity crisis. It doesn't help that when Adam is finally face to face with his brothers, all he gets is a bunch of excuses as to why they abandoned him. Because let's face it, if they really wanted to, they could have found a way to rescue him. Even if it meant bringing Michael along for the ride. They managed to save Sam, and they even talked to Lucifer face to face and eventually freed him. So why not their baby brother? What's worse is Adam never actually got a second chance at life because he's obliterated along with the rest of humanity. As Dean said,
"Poor bastard never caught a break."
How does someone recover from living an actual millennia of hell? Because Adam is not the same person he was when he first tumbled into that pit, and no therapist on Earth is going to have answers for him. Adam Milligan deserved better, or at the very least, he deserved acknowledgement. We actually don't know what happened to Adam at the end of Supernatural. He died along with the rest of humanity, so presumably he was resurrected when Jack brought everyone else back, but we don't actually know. But again, his existence is ignored like a lot of other characters. Because Supernatural's best quality is erasing characters like they never existed, and then never talking about them again. Of all the characters in Supernatural, Adam Milligan definitely had it the worst. His life went to shit at every turn. Seriously, he should get a t-shirt that says, "I went to hell to save the world, and all I got was a lame-ass apology." Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check out some of my other videos and subscribe for more fandom content.